right. I wanted to discuss the lightweight division. It's a division that seems to get overlooked and overshadowed by the junior welterweight division, the welterweight division, and on up. Okay, a lot of people don't discuss the lightweight division. Right now, if anyone discusses the division, they usually speak on Terrence Crawford with his recent fight against Yuriorkis Gamboa, and they'll discuss Omar Figueroa, a guy that's like a brawler, young brawler that Golden Boy is really trying to promote. Okay, both of them are undefeated, but the division itself is pretty interesting. You got a lot of good fighters in the division. You got Hank Lundy still there. Okay, he's been calling out Terrence Crawford a lot lately. Okay, you got Mickey Bay, who's going to fight Miguel Vasquez, the IBF champ, at the Mayweather Maidana rematch. And I think the Gamboa, I believe, is still staying at 135. I don't know when he's going to get another fight. Me personally, I think Gamboa was best at 126. I think he should at least go back down to 130. Okay, I think he is too small at 135. Okay, he's already extremely short. He has extremely short arms. I just don't think he's big enough to compete at 135. I think he should move back down to 130 if he can make the weight. But anyway, as far as the division, you got Terrence Crawford supposed to be fighting Ray Beltran, which should be a good fight. Beltran is a very high quality opponent. So there's a lot of good fights coming up. Now, what inspired me to do this video, I actually just did a video where I discussed my thoughts on the Mickey Bay and Miguel Vasquez fight. I was listening to the Boxing Roundtable fellas, Zone 6 and Rilo Jackson and Boxing Talk. And I even heard 70 Sports was on the video, I think. And JT, they had a video, like a 6-part video recently. I think it was on the same video where they was going down the divisions, and they were basically giving their opinion on who they felt was the true champion at each division. It was a very good discussion. If you guys haven't already, subscribed to Rilo Jenkins' channel, because he posted videos, and it was a long phone conversation between like 5 guys, and they were going down the divisions, and basically, like, for example, they say Ricky Leao is the best in the division. He's a true champ. Klitschko's the true heavyweight. Andre Ward is the true super middleweight. There's so many belts now. No one unifies the titles anymore. So they were discussing. They was going down each division. Some divisions didn't have, like the welterweight division, or they felt that certain divisions didn't have a true champion, because there was too many champions and they didn't know who would win between the champions, But getting back to my point, the lightweight division, I think they agreed that Terrence Crawford was the true champion at 135. And as good as I think Terrence Crawford is, I praise him all the time on this channel, and I do think he's the best at 135. I think he's the best. Miguel Vasquez has been champion a lot longer than him. Okay, Miguel Vasquez hasn't lost in a very long time. And he's faced quality opponents, okay? They both fought Regis Prescott, and they both looked great in those fights, okay? Miguel Vasquez in that fight pretty much dominated Prescott. Okay, he didn't knock him out, but he beat him every other round in the first round. The first round, Prescott dropped Vasquez, and after every round after that, he dominated him. Terrence Crawford also dominated him. The fight was a last-minute fight. Okay, Terrence Crawford moved up to 140 to fight him, and that's how Terrence Crawford got his name, his recognition, because of that fight. For the point that I'm making here, I think these two needs to fight. Like, before we sit here and claim that Terrence Crawford is the champ at 135, the true champion, I think he would need to fight Miguel Vasquez. That's a tough fight for Terrence Crawford because, like I said in Mickey Bay video, Miguel Vasquez was one of those fighters that it's hard to look good against, okay, because of his awkward style. I would like Terrence Crawford to beat, before he moves up to 140, I don't know if he has any trouble making weight, but I would like to see the Miguel Vasquez fight. I would like to see him try to unify the titles at 135 if he can. I would like to see him fight Mickey Bay. I would like to see that fight. I would love to see the Hank Lundy fight. I would kill to see a fight between Terrence Crawford and Hank Lundy. I want to see Terrence Crawford fight these guys before he moves to 140. Now, there's plenty of great fights at 140 already, but he has a lot of things going on in his own division, and if it's possible, why not try to unify the titles? I know he's chasing the money, just like every other fighter, and I know the bigger names are at 140. I believe by the time he moves up to 140, Danny Garcia will probably be fighting at 120. But that's just my thoughts. I think there's not a true champion at 135. Omar Figueroa, not really interested because I think Miguel Vasquez would beat him. I think Mickey Bay would beat him. I think Hank Lundy would beat him. I think Terrence Crawford would beat him. I know Omar Figueroa is one of the trinket holders, but I just don't think he competes. Like, they put him against guys. They normally put him against guys that he could slug it out with, okay? They have put him against good, solid boxers that, that were, thinkers in the ring and weren't really trying to brawl with him, that was trying to outbox him and stuff, but they haven't been on the level as the other top fighters in the division or the champions, okay? But I would like to see Terrence Crawford try to unify those titles, especially fighting with those other fighters I just named. And the Miguel Vasquez and the Mickey Bay fight coming up, that's a tough fight right there. But I would love to see Hank Lundy fight these guys, get in the mix too, because Hank Lundy is a very explosive fighter. And I know he's been calling out Terrence Crawford. I don't know if Crawford is going to take that fight, but I'm very interested to seeing how that fight plays out. I think, Terrence Crawford found a way and made the adjustments against Gamboa. I think he would do the same against Hank Lundy. As Hank Lundy is very skillful, he's very athletic, but he's not the smartest fighter, okay? He makes a lot of mistakes. So if they were to fight, I would be leaning towards Terrence Crawford, but Crawford hasn't fought a guy. I know he fought Gamboa, but Hank Lundy, offensive, his speed is on another planet, okay? I would love to see that fight. There's plenty of fights in the division I would like to see. I know a lot of people don't talk about the division, and I'm not completely counting out Omar Figueroa because he is an action fighter because of the slugging. But he fight a guy that's gonna have a little bit more movement, a little bit more punching power. I think he's gonna have some trouble in there. All right. So anyway, give me your thoughts on fights. You know what? In the comments. Leave me fights that you would like to see at 135. Who do you think is the true champion at 135? I know Vasquez is fighting Bay tomorrow, so depending on how that fight plays out, a lot of things that I said about him today in this video might be irrelevant by tomorrow. But let me know who you guys think is the true champ at 135. Is it Crawford? Is it Vasquez? Is it Figueroa? Is it any of the other guys that I named? All right, and make sure you hit subscribe. Peace.